Good morning. I was live on Facebook. Yes. I was live. Now, live here. Good morning, Stephanie. Check out the camera angle here. Like that. Okay. Just a moment of silence, as they say. Peace. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Om Nanaratna Samayuktam Muktar Vibhushitam Swanasam Asnam Charuprachatam Pratikretam. Just invoking Ganesh, the one who removes obstacles. We invite this energy to support our pathways, whatever they may be. Om. Okay, friends. Just kind of skinny on up here to the screen. Santosh here. Good morning. Good morning, Maggie. Sam and Lynn. Yeah, hi, Sarah. I did get your message. Hope you get feeling better. Shigeko, our Saturday morning crew, Chai and Chat crew and Sadhana crew. So much is happening today. It's almost even impossible to figure out where to start. First of all, just so you know, I'm live streaming from Mahasol Yoga Studio in downtown Littleton. And this is where, hi Eric, hi Tammy, nice to see you on the call. Downtown Littleton, and this is where the teacher training program is happening that we started last week. And really inspired about that. I almost have to pinch myself. Can't even believe it's happening. It's wonderful though. And but the title of today's class was Maitri Karuna. And Maitri, there's a couple different words for love. Maitri is one of them. Prema is also another one. And Karuna means compassion. And so love and compassion. And there's a sutra that I want to talk about and tell you about in Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. I'll chant it here and things and give you a working definition, but it really caused some reflection for me. I'll just chant it real quick. Om Maitri Karuna Mudito Pikshanam Sukha Dukkha Punya Punya Vishayanam Bhavanataschita Prasadanam. And so the translation here, and I have to read the translation, the mind becomes serene by the cultivation of feelings of love for the happy, compassion for the suffering, delight for the virtuous, and equanimity for the non-virtuous. And so the Yoga Sutras essentially are guiding us, angling us towards, and this is where I want to spend a little time to reflect with you a bit, but it's angling us towards our higher nature, our spiritual ascension, if you will, right? But what it recognizes is that along the way, the aids that are necessary to kind of reformat the capability of our being are necessary, essentially. And so this sutra talks about this idea of the serene mind, and the concept there is the serene mind is the mind that's capable of meditation. A mind that's not serene is not necessarily capable of meditation. It's not capable of concentration. And that's just a fact. If our minds are going in 20 different places, it's hard to kind of, narrow the fabric of the mind. So it gives us this idea of, it becomes serene by how we approach our world affairs, right? So first is cultivating love for those people that are happy. People are happy, and it's just love them because they're in joy or happiness. And then compassion for those who are suffering. That's clear, but sometimes we may not necessarily do that. And suffering can come in a lot of different ways, and so we can see it, how it lands emotionally, but if we can just extend that compassion. And then delight for those who are virtuous. So, for people that are actually really good people, have a sense of delight. And then finally, equanimity for those who are non-virtuous. And this is almost pre-election sutra. I mean, it's a way for us to kind of be in contact with the world in a way that allows for our minds to be serene, for ability to be kind of supple, if you will, in the world. And that's so necessary. And again, it's not only for the world, but it's really, for your own well-being and for the yogi, the well-being of just like living a spiritual life conditioned in the world, or angling a spiritual life for conditioning for conscious, full conscious evolution, a spiritualized mind. And that was kind of the reflection that came up, with the sutra for me, is that there's gradations of like living a spiritual life for the manifestation of a harmonized life, and then living a spiritual life, directed towards very deliberate, would be one way to put it, but very deliberate conscious transformation or conscious evolution. And so I just appreciate that refinement, because along the way, then, our mind becomes more stable and things. And so, yeah, I mean, full moon today, I'm leading a full moon meditation. That's really significant. So pop in on that. I've been chanting the Nirvana Shaktikam, and this is a teaching that I was given, a chant that I was given to do around death. And so that's been, just with all that's in the field of the time, and Halloween, Day of the Dead, all the different kind of things that way, and was asked to support the individual here recently. And so yeah, pretty powerful time right now. And so the best that we can do is do our yoga practice, show love for those who are happy, compassion for suffering, delight for the virtuous, and equal mindedness for those who are non-virtuous. And the Yoga Sutras unpacks a whole bunch of stuff. So we'll kind of work on that a little bit in our practice here today. We'll see how that unfolds. Thank you for your patience with me as always. I'm just going to slip that to my abode, my yoga mat abode here in beautiful Mahasoul Yoga Studio. And get comfortable in your seated position. And we invite the serenity of the mind here this morning and every day, but particularly today. The serene mind. And even just inviting the thought of what that may be like or what that may feel like. Can produce it, if you will. And so as we set the sankalpa here this morning, I'm going to just encourage you to maybe include the serenity of the mind in a life condition that may be a little in flux or a little sticky or, adverse even. So gently close the eyes, begin to breathe into the belly here. Just imagine sending love to someone who is happy. Supporting their highest nature, their welfare, goodness. Om Maitri Karuna Mudita Pekshana Sukha Dukha Punya Punya Vishayana Bhavanatashchitta Prasarana. And then imagine sending compassion to those who are suffering, and that suffering, it can come out as pain, it can come out as anger, it can come out as judgment. So compassion for the suffering. Om Maitri Karuna Mudita Pekshana Sukha Dukha Punya Punya Vishayana Bhavanatashchitta Prasarana. And then imagine like experiencing someone that's very virtuous and sending them the energy of the light, just the light and the purity and the goodness of their heart. Om Maitri Karuna Mudita Pikshanam Sukha Dukha Punya Punya Vishayanam Bhavanatashchitta Prasadana. And then finally, imagine just being equal-minded for those who may be non-virtuous. Supporting the serenity of the mind. Om Maitri Karuna Mudita Pikshanam Sukha Dukha Punya Punya Vishayanam Bhavanatashchitta Prasarana. Breathe deeply here. And we'll chant a couple of Oms together. So we'll exhale the breath completely and then take a nice big inhale here. Om. And again, another big inhale. Om. Okay, friends. Thank you for that. And we'll stay seated for just a moment, but come off of any seated support which you might be on here. And then let's just bring the hands to the knees or thighs. And then with an inhale, let the heart flow forward. And then exhale gently round the low back, rock back on the sacrum. And just a little flexion and extension of the spine here. So again, inhale, flow forward. And exhale, rounding back. So love, compassion, delight, and equanimity. So those are the feelings or the thoughts that support the serenity of our minds here. Just kind of allowing the heart space to be filled as the chest floats forward. And then pausing here, then we'll begin to make some circles. So draw over to the right, and then back to the right sits bone, and of course over to the left. Begin to possibly time this with your breathing, so inhaling forward, exhaling back. And what happens is when we're not, if you will, too far away from these qualities, these energies, then they can further kind of integrate into how we are on a regular basis, a general switch of the direction. And what the teachings also are trying to kind of secretly also guide us to is that these are the higher, if you will, the higher attributes of illuminated consciousness. There's this fascinating kind of energetic quality that exists in samadhi, in the state of high consciousness. Pause here for a moment, and then check this out. First, take your left hand and draw it down the line of the leg and plant it. So we're coming into a little bit of a twist here. Open this right shoulder and then just float the right arm up initially. So it's in line with the shoulder. And just feel into that. Breathe deeply. Oh yeah. It's very fascinating understanding. Yeah, and then take a nice big inhale and then exhale this right arm over the head now towards the front as you just gently ground that right knee, you'll find. Yeah, and then instead of like sinking into this left rib cage, open up into it, right? So create a little space. You can see that little space I created. Yeah, and then a nice big inhale. And then exhale, just sweep this right arm behind you in the same line as that left leg. Plant it, and then sweep this left arm up and over, and then extend through the left knee. And just breathe here. Breathe very deeply. Kind of a few different angles for our twisting this morning. And the lengthening of the side body, and then inhale, float on up, and then exhale, gently release down. And then from this position now, extend that right arm right off the angle of the leg, and then open up this left arm. So it's kind of a subtle twist. You feel into that. Breathe deeply. Probably a little better visual on this side. A big inhale, and exhale this left arm over the head. So we'll just reach here. Stay with the breath. Kind of ground this left knee a little bit. You can feel that. Yeah. And then inhale, float on up here. And exhale, release the hand down. Again, in the same line. So the chest is opening, and then float this right arm up. Oh, and exhale over the head. So a lot of space immediately being created in the body. Yeah. And then gently inhale, float on up, and then exhale. Release to a neutral position. We'll come off of the seated position. I appreciate your endurance for that. We'll make our way to tabletop here, little tabletop, and then just to loosen the hips as we kind of normally do. Let's just give the hips a little bit of a circle here. Let the breath inhale as you sweep forward, and exhale the hips back. Yeah. Just moving and breathing here, supple, subtle. Love, compassion, delight, equanimity. Yeah, these kind of secret hidden attributes of these higher stratus of creation, if you will. Yeah. And then that allows for the mind to become stable enough to meditate. Yeah, and then puppy pose here. Let's sink the heart, forehead to the earth. Hips mostly stay lifted here. Breathing. Oh, yeah. And then gently, float on up to neutral position. And then let's flip our right palm up. And then big inhale and exhale, just sink into that right shoulder. Again, the palm is turned to the sky. Breathing. Yep. And then gently float on up. And then we'll switch this out. And so much has been available for our minds to become, kind of off kilter, off this serenity of experience. And so this is where we need that kind of guidance, that support. Gently inhale back to neutral. We'll do our little twist here. Left hand under the face, and now take the right hand to the sky. Give the wrist a spin. Breathe very deeply. Nice big inhale and exhale, feeding this right hand through on the inside left shoulder and ear to the mat. Left hand reaches top edge of the mat, hips to the right. Breathing. Yeah. Ooh. And a nice big inhale. And exhale the left hand underneath you, ground it. And then inhale, float the right hand to the sky. Then we gently switch here, so ground to the right hand, inhale, float the left. And whether you're angling for kind of like a spiritualized life, spin of the wrist, or, developing a spiritualized consciousness, big inhale, feeding left hand through on the inside of the right shoulder. And here to mat, right hand reaches top edge of the mat, hips left. All of that's good, right? And a nice big inhale. And exhale, this right hand back underneath you, ground it. And then float to the left. So just kind of opening up some of the joint capsules and things here, of course. And then let's extend the right leg out to the right here. A little drift back of the hips. And then gently bend the elbows. We'll come onto the forearms. Here, a little stretch of that inner groin, high hamstring area. Breathing. And then check this out. We'll straighten the arms here, but then bend into that knee, that right knee, and then just sink over to the right. Yeah, just kind of allow that right hip socket to get a little bit of mobility to it. And then back to neutral, and then sink into it again. Just a little bit of mobility. Yeah, and then all the way neutral, we'll switch out. And so extend the left leg out to the left toes forward. Again, hips drift back, a little bend of the forearms, coming onto the forearms, bend of the elbows. That's what we're going for, bending the elbows. Breathe in here. Oh, yum. Yeah, and then hands ground, inhale, float up. And then little bend out into that left knee and just sink over to the left. You feel that. And then straighten, and then again, little mobility for that hip, sink into it again. And then back to neutral, all the way into tabletop. I'm going to spin back around and extend the right leg behind you, tuck the back toes under. Yep, and then float that right leg, hip height, and the left arm shoulder height, as so. Yeah, breathing. And then a nice big inhale and exhale, rounding, so elbow to knee. Little squeeze in, and then it'll sweep open. And then exhale, round, squeeze. And then one more time, it'll sweep open. And then exhale, round, squeeze, and then release to neutral. So extend the left leg behind you, tuck the back toes under. Going into that, float that left leg and right arm. Breathing deeply. Yeah, nice big inhale and exhale, squeeze. Yeah, inhale, sweep open. So find a little bit of mobility in the body. Exhale, round, squeeze. And then last go round, inhale, sweep open. Exhale, rounding. And then neutral, tabletop, and then transition. We'll make our way into down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana here, downward facing dog. Take a moment if you're feeling the need to add movement here. So good. So second full moon in this month. So that's wild. happens to fall on Halloween night. Yup. Breathe here. Full moon in Taurus. A lot of stirring in the field of the everything. Mm-hmm. And we're just focused on the serene mind field. Yeah, samatha, equanimity. Ooh. And then let's just walk the feet to the hands are forward fold. So Uttanasana. We know this little space in between the feet. Give the head a little bit of a stir. A little yes and no for the body that way. Yeah. Breathe in. And then we'll come into a half lift here. So Ardha Uttanasana, half lift your hands, mid shins. Lengthening from the tail to the crown. The inner thighs move back. And you can kind of ground the big toe mounds of the feet. Feel that. And then gently kind of float the pubic bone back or purposefully turn the thighs in. And you'll notice that will create some space in the pelvic floor. Just something to experiment with, really. Nice big inhale. And exhale, lengthen out as you fall down. The chin tucks, the hands release at the bottom. And then again, inhale, half lift. And exhale, folding. Oh, and then one more of these. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, and then bend knees, and high plank is our destination here this morning. So high plank. Yeah, take a moment here to create some length in the stance. I talk about, I always have my shoulders a fair distance behind my wrists. It's just as nicer for me on my wrists, I'm going to do a lot more planks in my future. So I want my wrist to be able to sustain the weight of my body for years to come. Yeah, and then float the right leg hip height here. Really extend the leg back. Keep the quad active. Core is nice and toned. A nice big inhale. Next, I'll knee to chest. Give her a little squeeze in. And then inhale, leg behind you. And exhale, right knee, left elbow. Squeeze it and hold it here for a moment. And then inhale, leg behind you. Next, I'll gently release it down. And we switch it out. Breathing deeply. Yeah, stay with the breath. So love, compassion, delight, equanimity. A nice big inhale. And exhale, squeeze knee to chest. Give her a little squeeze in. And then inhale, leg behind you. And exhale, left knee to right elbow. Squeeze. And then inhale, leg behind you. And exhale, gently release it down. Inhale, breath here. And exhale to the knees. And then all the way to the belly. And we'll just do kind of a mobile, right? Bhujangasana Cobra pose. And so inhale, float the torso up. Shoulders move away from the ears. Pelvis grounds. And then exhale, float back down. Do this 2 more times with the breath. So inhale, float up. Exhale, float down. Love. Strengthening those back muscles. And then inhale, float up again. And then exhale, float down. And then tuck the back toes under. Inhale through high plank, high push up. And then exhale, lift this back into downward facing dog. Just stay with your breathing here. Oh yeah. Send the hips up and back. Ground the roots of the fingers. The triceps can kind of drape towards the earth. Yeah, breathe in. And then float bend the knees. Warrior 1 is our destination. So right foot steps, right hand, left heel. Pivots down, come to standing here. Take a minute. Organize the body so the hips are squaring off. Quad, firm back leg. Big toe mound, front and back foot are grounding. Inner thighs kind of tracking towards one another. Going into that. And then take the hands and arms to the sky. Breathe deeply here. Stay with the breath. We'll put a little bit of movement into the body with an inhale. Let the elbows bend, heart opens. And then exhale, float the forearms towards one another. And again, inhale, open. Exhale, pulse. Then one more of these. Inhale, open. Exhale, pulse. And then inhale, sweep the hands and arms over the head. Exhale, then behind you, interlace the fingers. And then inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, float the torso on the inside of this right leg, hands and arms over the head. Stay with the breath here. Breathe very deeply. Really nice. And then exhale the breath completely, and then inhale, float up and out of it. So reach where you want. And then gently exhale, float all the way out of it. Hands plant, step back, high plank, high push up here. Big inhale. And then exhale to the knees again, all the way to the belly. And then Bhujangasana will sustain it this time. So float on up. And again, continue to move. Use rather the muscles, the back. The hands are energetically drawing towards the waist here. Chin is tucking slightly to keep the spine extended. Breathe here. Nice big inhale. And exhale, float down. We're not done though. So inhale, float on up, and then hold the breath in. So inhale and hold the breath. And then gently exhale. And then 2 more times here. So inhale, float on up, hold the breath. And then exhale, 1 more. Staying with it here. Inhale, float on up, hold the breath. And then tuck the back toes under and exhale, lift the hips back. All into down dog. Take a moment here, nourish the body with your breathing. Be cleansing. And then little bend of knees, left foot steps, left hand. So Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Right heel pivots down. We'll come to standing here. Just take a moment. Hips are squaring off. And just honor, the width of your stance with the width of your hips. Eventually let the hands and arms float to the sky. Really reach in here. Yep. Okay. And then with an inhale, bend the elbows so the heart flourishes. Yeah. Nice and big inhale and exhale, pulse forearms towards one another. And then inhale, sweep open. Exhale, pulse. And then 1 more of these, inhale, sweep open. Exhale, pulse. And then inhale, reach hands to the sky. Exhale, float arms behind you, interlace fingers. Inhale, extend front spine, grow tall. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward, hands and arms over the head. Just breathe deeply here. Stay with your breath. Very nice. And then exhale, you're breathing completely. And then inhale, float up and out of it. So reach to the sky. And then exhale, gently release all the way. Plant the hands, step back, high plank, high push up here. And just pause in high plank. Take a moment. And then we'll gently float into upward facing dog. I really like this move where we roll over the tops of the feet, the hips release down, the heart lifts, and we're here in up dog. Quad is active, toes can spread here. That really, tones up the front of the hip, the front of the body, and contracts and strengthens and lengthens. A big system. Yeah, big inhale, and exhale, lift the hips back into down dog. So good. Take a moment here, breathe deeply. Oh yeah, and then back into warrior 1. So right foot steps, right hand, left heel pivots down. Hands and arms over the head, so reach initially here. Yeah, so right foot is forward. And then capture the left hand, left wrist with the right hand and just track that arm, that left arm over to the right as you kind of put a little extra energy to engage the back leg quad and press the big toe mound of that back foot. Breathe deeply. Stay with the breath. So we're just reaching over initially. And then allow that left shoulder to kind of carve down and change the angle of the stretch into the back body. Stay with the breath here. Breathe deeply. Yeah, and a nice big inhale. And exhale, hands to prayer here at the heart. So peace warrior stance. And then gently release the back foot here. Point the heel to the sky, step the foot in. And so modified warrior 3. Work the weight into this front leg. Straighten that right leg. Lift the back leg. So body down, leg up. Stay with the breath here. Heart's lifting. Yeah. Really nice. And standing split. So gently hinge at the hips a little deeper here. Releasing the hands from the ankle, the floor, forehead towards the shin. And just a deeper sensation. Stretch, yeah. And then a careful bend in the knee and the standing. Release the back foot down. And then inhale, float back into peace warrior stance. And I think this is the stance that we'll need here in the next few days. Stay with your breath. Yeah. And then inhale, float hands and arms to the sky. We'll go through a little vinyasa here. Exhale, just gently float the arms down. Yep. Plant the hands, step back into high plank, high push-up again. Here, pause. And then once again, we'll float into upward facing dog. So gently release the hips down, pull the heart through. Breathe deeply, a big inhale. And then an exhale into downward facing dog. Yeah. So nice. Stay with the breath. Oh yeah, and then pull the knees and the left foot steps to the left hand. Right heel pivots down. We come to standing here. So left foot is forward now. Hands over the head region. And then capture now the right wrist with the left hand. And then pull that left arm over to the left. Yeah. A little extra grounding in the big toe. Quad active above the back leg. Feel that. And then just, draw that shoulder down and just change the angle of the stretch. Stretching really the skin away from the fascia. That's what's happening. I do this all the time. I'd show this to you guys. And then inhale, float on up. Exhale, hands to prayer at the heart. Then release the back foot, point the heel to the sky. And we put weight into this left leg. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Lift the back leg, body down, leg up. Pause here. Really ignite the lifted leg. See with your breathing. And then hinge deeper at the hips, standing split. Hands to the left ankle. Floor, catch a wobble. Forehead towards the shin. And just breathe real deep here. Stay with the breath. Oh yeah, and then a careful bend in that same leg knee. Release the back foot down. And then hands to prayer here. Peace warrior. We'll go through a little vinyasa. Inhale, float hands and arms to the sky. And exhale, float all the way down. Hands plant, step back. High plank, push up. Pause here. Breathe deeply. And then we'll inhale, float forward into upward facing dog. And again, breathe here. Toes are active. Breath is full. Big inhale. And exhale, lift the hips back into down dog. Yeah. So nice. Breathe deeply. Oh yeah. And then inhale, float the right leg hip height here. So right leg hip height. Stay with the breath. Yeah, and a nice big inhale. And then exhale, right knee, right elbow. And squeeze in a kiss. And then inhale, right leg behind you. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. So we're going to work this. You know where we're headed. So extend this right leg out to the left. Ground the left heel. Balance on the right hand. And then just take the left hand to the heart and just open the heart. Yeah, feel into that. And then float this left hand to the sky. Breathe very deeply. Yeah. And then draw the left arm over the head towards the front of your room, your mat. Breathing. And then lean back into it a little bit. Turn the heart open, maybe a little more. And then bend that left elbow, the hand to the back of the head, and then just lift the chin here. Breathe deeply. Yeah. Then a nice big inhale, then exhale. Release into down dog, down to down dog. Yeah. Awesome. And breathe deep here. Yep. Nourish the body with breath. Yep. And then gently, float the left leg, hip height there, pause. Yep, and a nice big inhale. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, a little squeeze. And then inhale, leg behind you. And then exhale, left knee, right elbow, squeeze. Yep. And then inhale. And then extend that left leg out to the right. Ground the right heel. So we're here. Take the right hand to the heart. Just open the rib cage. And then float when you're ready. Right arm to the sky. Breathe deeply. Lift the hips. You can begin to lean back into it a little bit. Draw the right arm over the head. So breathe deeply here. Then put a little bend in that right elbow. Lift the chin. Lean back into it again. Stay with the breath. And then a nice big inhale. And then exhale. We meet back into down dog. Nicely done, friends. Downward facing dog. And then let's collect ourselves. Child's pose. Knees to the earth. Hips to the heels. Just pause here for a moment. Balasana. Child's pose. Wonderful. And then gently we'll meet back into down dog. So inhale breath to tabletop. And exhale back into down dog. Yeah. Ooh-wee. Right out. And just a little bit of energy, a little bit of work here. Float the right leg hip height here. Pause there. And then inhale into high plank high push up. And then lift the leg just a little higher. Feel that. And then bend the elbows just a couple of inches. Yeah, that's it. And then inhale, straighten the arms. And then exhale, lift the hips back into three-legged dog. Yep. And then again, inhale, high plank. Exhale, bend elbows, sink. Inhale, straighten arms. And exhale, lift the hips back into three-legged dog. And then release that right leg down. And then we'll switch. So float the left leg hip height there. Pause. Breathe in. Yep. And then we'll do this twice on this side too. So inhale, high plank. Exhale, bend elbows, sink. Inhale, straighten arms. Exhale, lift the hips, three-legged dog. One more time this side. Inhale. Exhale, sink. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lift the hips back. Release the leg down. So nice, friends. And then warrior two, right side, right foot steps. Left heel pivots down. Take a minute. We're back to standing. Hips are open now. Bend deep into this front leg knee. And then float the arms over the head. Or not over the head, shoulder height. Sorry. Just breathe in. And actually, I want to draw the hands behind us and interlace them. And then just kind of draw the hands straight down initially. Feel that, so the heart space is opening. Keep the breath deep, though. Yeah. And then straighten the front leg, and then just angle the hands towards the back foot. So it's kind of like a, modified triangle pose, if you will. So big long lines, shoulders continue to move away from the earth. This left shoulder keeps opening, and then sink just a little deeper into that. That's accessible. And then we release the hands and float the arms like we are in now a triangle pose. Just feel into that. Breathe deeply. Yeah. Oh. And then inhale, float on up, back into warrior two, arm shoulder height, and then extend this angle. So right forearm, right thigh, left arm over the head. And then heart spins open, feel into that. And then bring this left hand to the sacrum, like so. And then straighten the right arm and just sink. So kind of pressure to open the torso a little bit. The head can draw back. Breathe here. So nice. We exhale the breath completely, and then inhale, float back up into warrior two. Pause. Inhale breath. Next, hands to the waist, and then we'll do this transition, straighten the front leg, turn the right foot and left foot opens here. So we're here now, yep. And then the hands and arms shoulder height. Stay with the breathing. Core stays active here. Quad active, back leg, big toe mound, front foot, inner thigh squeeze. So that kind of data. And then hands behind you, interlace. And first, the hands straight down. And just breathe deeply. Allow the breath to really open here. It's just wonderful to breathe deeply, and the ribs are, opening. This position, and then straighten the front leg here. Then angle the hands towards the back foot, and then just kind of pull open that right shoulder. Breathe deeply. Yep. And then sink just a little lower. That's it. And then open the arms as if now we are in triangle. Yep. Breathe in. Stay with the breath. Heart keeps spinning open. Yeah. And then bend into the front leg, knee. Back into warrior two. And then extend this angle, left forearm, left thigh. And this right arm over the head initially. Just create some length there. Really just opening heart spaces here today. And then take the right hand to the sacrum. Like so, this right shoulder keeps opening, and the left arm straightens and sink a little deeper. Yeah. Stay with the breath. Oh, yeah. So nice. And then gently, float on up, back into warrior two here. Yep, big inhale. Exhale, hands to the waist. Straighten front leg, pivot this left foot and right foot opens. And then we step the back foot to the top of the mat. And we meet all the way at the top of the mat. Just take a moment here. Breathe very deeply. Let your intention come back in, that reflection of supporting Maitri, Karuna, supporting love and compassion. Sending that into the world and holding a big dose, for yourself. Yeah. Let's just go through a little vinyasa here. The palms spin open, inhale, float hands and arms to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Chin tucks, hands come down. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold here. And then back to standing we go. Inhale, sweep all the way up. And then exhale, hands to prayer at the heart. So Parsvottanasana, we'll step the left leg back. So about 3/4 of a stride. Here the hips are squaring off to the front. Hands to the waist. A lot of different hand positions. If you choose to take a different position, that's totally fine. I just keep my hands at the waist. Heart's opening, back leg grounds, front leg quad activates, pubic bone draws back, core's active, so you can feel we set the structure of the foundation. A big inhale, and exhale, hinge folding forward here at the hips. Pause halfway down, put a little micro bend in that front leg knee so it's not locked out. Keep tracking though the outside of that right hip back. Elbows kind of draw towards one another. Breathing. Stay with the breath. A nice big inhale. And exhale, continue your descent in the pose. Releasing the hands possibly to the shin or the floor, you choose. Feeling into that. Yeah, goodness. Shoulders keep kind of moving away from the ears here. And we'll make one more descent. So a nice big inhale, and exhale, drawing the forehead towards the shin if you like. And a little deeper that way. And then inhale, lengthen the front spine. Plant this left hand on the inside or possibly the outside of that front foot. You choose. And then bring the right hand to the sacrum. So Parivrita, right? Uttita Trikonasana, so revolved triangle is the name of this pose. Keep grounding the big toe mound. Open the heart to the right. Turn the head open and take that right hand to the sky. And just breathe very deeply here. Really nice. And a big inhale. And exhale, gently release that right hand down here. Pull a bend in that front leg knee. Inhale, breath. Exhale, hands to the waist, inhale, flat back to standing. So we come all the way up and out of it. So nice, and we'll switch. So step this back foot forward, front foot back. Breathe in. And again, quad active back leg, 3/4 of this stride here. Quad active front leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge at the hips, ground big toe mound. Gently float the outside of that left hip back here. Breathe in. Stay with the breath. Oh, yeah. And nice big inhale. And exhale, continue to descend to the pose, the hand to the shin or the floor, you choose. And then kind of lengthen the spine by drawing the shoulders away from the ears. So just that little adjustment will reflect in the hamstring. You'll more than likely be revealed here. And a nice big inhale. And then exhale, continue your descent further into the pose, so forehead towards the shin possibly. So nice on that front hamstring, lots, intense. And then inhale, half lift here, and then the right hand on the inside or the outside of the front foot, left hand sacrum, and then just lengthen through the crown of the head as you draw the outside of that left hip back and draw the left shoulder further away from the left ear to just spin open into, as you can see. I'm really facing the camera now. And then float possibly that left arm to the sky. Just breathe, stay with the breath. Yeah, revolve triangle, Parivrita Udita Trikonasana. That's a lot. Big old pose, yeah. Oh, and a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release the hand and arm down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale all the way to standing, flat back to standing. And then step the back foot to the top of the mat. Pause here. Oh, yeah. Just let your body go through the sensations of experience with love, compassion, delight, and equanimity. Just imagine if we met every experience with that quality, because every experience really, can be supported by all those, and even if it's super clean, can benefit from that. Yeah. So gently open the eyes here. I'm going to turn to face you guys. Just my mat just a little bit. We'll come into a little figure four. So put weight into this left foot, and then take the right foot above the left knee. So there's the figure four. Hands to prayer, and then we'll just sink into this. Keep some energy in the big toe mound of this foot that's on the knee, that right foot. Sink in here, breathe in. And then maybe even the hands, release to the earth, a little stability. You can flex the foot into the upper arm of that left arm and feel into that. Oh yeah, and then gently here, we're not done, but kind of push the floor away as you inhale, come to standing, and let the hands go down and the knee float up. Find your balance. Little wobbles are fine on that standing leg, that left leg. And then we'll hinge at the hips here, folding forward. Interlace the hands underneath that right foot, and the chest goes to the thigh as much as you can. And then just gently inhale, straighten, possibly, that right leg. Breathe deeply here. Yeah, and keep the core active. And then gently release the leg, float. The arms over the head. And then check this out, we're still not done. Just bend now this right knee, release this right arm down, capture the outside of the right foot with the right hand. Begin to kick the foot into the hand. So we're coming into Natarajasana, dancer's pose, just a little one. Keep lifting the heart, keep kicking the foot into the hand, breathing, big inhale. Next, I'll just gently release all the way out of it, and let this left leg wiggle a little bit to get blood back into the foot and the calf. And we'll switch this out. So put the weight into this. Now right leg, left foot floats. Like so, feeling that into the hip. And then again, a little gentle bend to the knee here, sinking. Stay with your breathing. Hands to prayer. Asana. And then gently maybe release the hands to the earth. Just feeling whatever you need to feel there. Yep. And then gently exhale the breath completely. Lift the hands and let the hands then reach back down as the knee floats. Push the floor away to come to standing. So we're now on that right leg. And then hinging at the hips, capturing below the foot, interlacing the fingers, chest to the thigh. And then with an inhale, straighten the leg. Stay with the breath. That's it. Breathe deeply. And then release the foot. Float the arms over the head. So some strength here. And then release that leg down, put a little bend in the knee. Just float it through and capture the foot from the inside or the outside, I guess. Whatever's suitable. Kick the foot into the hand. And just begin to send that leg back. Keep the heart lifting though. A lot of different ways one can process. Nataraj Asana dancers. Breathing here. And then gently release the foot. Come on down, hands and arms over the head. Inhale, exhale, float arms down. And then just a little wiggle. Let the blood come back into that right leg. So nice, friends. Palms turn open. Inhale, sweep up. And then exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Just a little movement here. Chin tucks, hands come down. And then again, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. To standing we go. So inhale, sweep all the way up. And then exhale, hands now behind you. Interlace the fingers. Inhale the breath. And exhale, hinge at the hips, folding for a little bend. The knees can go a long way, or however it feels for your body. Hands and arms over the head. That's it. Breathe in deeply. Nice big inhale and exhale. Gently release the grip of the hands here. The feet turn open. The heels in Malasana. Squatting pose. Yeah. Stay with the breath here. So we're kind of lifting the heart. Let the back muscles engage. Yeah. Just a little bit of a setup here. So take this right hand underneath you and behind you, and then this left arm behind and interlace. And then we're going to come up into bird of paradise. So ground into this left foot. Make your way to standing. Breathe deeply here. Heart's open. And then when you're ready, straighten the right leg. Breathe. Oh, yeah. Stay with the breath. And then gently bend the knee. Release back all the way down. Release the bind back into Malasana squatting. I know that came on kind of quick. Oh, yeah. Bird of paradise. And then we'll switch. So left arm on the inside, right arm behind. Stand onto that right leg. Come all the way up. Breathe deeply here. Oh, yeah. Just take a moment. Find your balance. And then when you're ready, straighten the leg. Breathe. That's it. And then gently bend the knee and release all the way back out of it to neutral Malasana. Good job, you guys. I know it can be a lot. It's a lot for me. It's good though. We're ready. Hamstring was opened. That's why we did Parsvottanasana. Open hips for all the warriors, twos particularly. Balancing stuff, that was kind of dialed in. Yeah, and then gently release the hands behind you and the hips all the way down. Take a moment here. You deserve it. Yeah. Right out. And then from this position, extend the left leg out. Yep, and then just draw this right foot and leg over the left leg. So we're going to do our twist here, hugging, kind of the thigh into the chest. Sit nice and tall, so reassert the length of the spine. And then elbow crease to knee, and then sweep this right arm behind you, twisting to the right very deeply. You can see I always make a couple of little moves there to get my ribs in a better kind of position. You can feel that. And then maybe float this left arm over. And then there's a few different positions the arm can straighten. That feels a little deeper. Kind of draw the head back, and so we're allowing the thoracic to experience this. And then deeper still would be the thumb turns down, so we're into the rotating the shoulder, kind of work the armpit towards the knee, and then you just bend the elbow, and you can see them interlacing. That's, again, kind of a lot, but stay with the breath. Yeah. And then gently release the grip of the hands here, and then we'll spin all the way around the counter twist, and we've done this a number of times. And so just come onto the forearms here and breathe into the belly. So really purposefully extend the belly. Stay with the breath. Yeah. And then gently walk the hands towards the body to unravel, extend the leg, and switch. So draw this left leg up and over. And you can see I'm going to kind of sit tall again, so re-lengthen the spine. Elbow crease to knee, feeling that. Sweep this left arm behind you, so find the twist initially. Keep this extended leg grounded, so a little activation in the quad, and then float this right arm over that left, and then I'm going to just go ahead and straighten this to begin to deepen into the twist here. Just a little experiment with the body. And then the thumbs turn down, elbow bends, and then capturing all that arm behind you. Yeah, it's just deep little position here. Yeah, and a nice big inhale, and then we'll release the grip of the hands, and then counter twist. We'll float all the way over, balance hands, and then release forearms, belly breathe. That's it. Yeah. And then gently inhale, come on up to neutral position, extend the leg here. And then from this position, kind of ground the hands and then work the weight over into the right sits bone, say, and then just walk the hip, this left hip back, and then come over. And so we're anteriorly rotating the pelvis manually, and then just bring the hands to the shins and lengthen up in the heart. So instead of kind of rounding, you can feel the difference. Honestly, the stretch is more prominent, or even intense. But you can feel the long lines of the body have some kind of magic to them. And that's where all that love, compassion, delight, and equanimity can really infused in us. Keep kind of migrating the heart towards the feet. Deeper, but not collapsing. There's uncollapsed. Here's unextended. There's deeper. There's collapsing. And you can feel when you collapse, the pressure of the pose is kind of relaxed. And just stay extended here and keep migrating in it. And then a nice big inhale. And then exhale. Now we round and release forward and down. So we're not necessarily collapsing down. We're really trying to stay energetically extended in the form. It's really beautiful. Yeah. And then gently tone the core, walk the hands up the legs to come out of it. So we inhale, come out of it, and then put a little bend in the knees, the soles of the feet together, and we come into Baddha Konasana. So bound, Baddha is bound, Kona is angle, so bound angle. And then we kind of push the heels together with our glutes, kind of activating the outside of the legs to draw the knees down as the inside of the legs release. I mean, there'll be a stretch in there, obviously, but they're releasing instead of contracting. So let the contraction be on the outside of the legs. Hearts open. And then gently we'll just soften out of that and let the knees float back to neutral. I'm going to spin around and get back on Mat Loka. Yeah. Deva Mat Loka. And then using the core gently, I'm just going to float all the way down onto the back. Extend the arms over the head. Breathe deeply here. Yeah. A little stretchiness to the body so you can point and flex the feet, or I'll kind of like walk my hips and move kind of from the iliac crest. And that just feels spacious to my body, the body. This is really just a rental. And then bend the knees and draw them into the chest, rock side to side. Little massage of the spine. It feels good. We'll come into Viparita Krani Mudra. So reverse posture, seal legs up the wall, block under the sacrum, or I'm just going to ground my hands, lift the hips, come up onto the shoulder girdle, hands to the low back, and then the body is in a V shape. The gaze stays straight here. Yum. Just chilling. And then gently we'll come out of this, release the hips from the hands float down, the hips gently float down. And then hug the knees last time into the chest. We'll do our pre-Shavasana breath retention practice. And so extend the legs out, the feet roll open, arms by your side, palms turned upward here, and then exhale the breathing completely. And then take a nice big inhale and hold the breath in and just wait. So inhale, hold the breath. And then gently exhale your breathing. And we'll do one more of those, but I'll cue you to pooch out the belly. So exhale the breath completely, and then inhale, big inhale. Hold the breath. Pooch out the belly. Gently exhale your breathing. Just feeling above the absorption, just going with the flow here, just make any adjustments for comfort or stay wherever you are. Yeah. To start Shavasana, I'm gonna chant the Nirvana Shaktikam, the teaching of Nirvana. And I'll just chant the first stanza. There's 8 total, but you'll get an idea as to the illumination, the illuminated insight of Nirvana Shaktikam. Welcome. Let's get comfy. Om Manopuchahankar Chitani Naham Nachashrutra Jive Nachakran Netre Nachavyomagupnir Natejo Navayus Chitananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Shivoham, 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 Chirananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham, Chirananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. You are not mind, intellect, thought, or ego. Not hearing, taste, smelling, or sight. Not ether or earth, fire or air. You are the knoll. You are the knowledge of bliss. You are Shiva. You are Shiva. You are the soul of knowledge and bliss. You are the soul of knowledge and bliss. just to witness how you're feeling. Maybe dialing in a more palpable sense of awareness, of perception. Beginning to breathe a little deeper here. Just adding a little bit of movement to the body. Just returning gently. And a little stretch of the arms, hugging the knees. We come to the left side here. And then come to seated position. Gently making your way back. And we'll have another 25 minutes or so of practice for pranayama meditation. So for those who may be newer on the stream, we'll continue our practice. Just get comfy in the seated position. Kind of claim your relationship with a deeper breathing. So first a few rounds of the full yogic breath with kumbhak, with suspension of breathing at the top and the bottom of the exhale. As a reminder, we initiate the inhale by extending the belly and the ribs expand, chest lifts and expands, and then pausing. And maybe for a few counts is the kumbhak or more, you choose, and then releasing the breath. Same at the very bottom of the exhale is again an extended exhalation of kumbhak, a suspension of the breath out of the body, and then let the corresponding inhale come in very slowly under control as the belly then reinflates. Even just having these suspensions and slowing down both the inhale and the exhale can be a very significant pranayama practice. Serenity of the mind. Initially in deep yogic breathing, particularly on the exhaled kumbhak. The nervous system can be a little tender. It may require the body to be breathed. Eventually, that's transformed. And then gently, as you complete your next exhalation, we'll complete this practice and we'll move on simply to Nadi Shodhan. We know this as nerve cleansing practice officially or alternate nostril breathing. And so when you're ready, we just bend the index finger and middle finger into the palm of the hand, the thumb and ring extend, the elbow lifts, and then we just gently draw the hand to the face and begin breathing after closing the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale left and just continue practice. Nadi Shodhan, nerve cleansing practice. One is invited again to breathe very deeply. Very subtly. And you can linger at the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale. Staying with the practice here. And after exhaling out your left nostril, you'll complete the round that you're on. So cycle through. Just absorb the experience of the practice. And then we'll do breath retention practice, Triband Pranayama is called, with the 3 locks. So I'll guide this one time, and you can practice it with me if you want, or if you want to observe, that's fine. Triband Pranayama. Utilizing the full yogic breath, I initiate the inhale, the belly extends outward. Then as I continue to inhale, I engage Mula Bandha, the root lock, so contracting the pelvic floor. Full breath in. And releasing the chin into the hollow of the throat while engaging Jalanhar Bandha and Mula Bandha simultaneously. Breath is held in. And then gently lifting the chin and exhaling the breath completely out of the body, leaning forward, turning the hands in, and just to demo the belly to the spine. Uddiyana Bandha, the breath is held out. Okay, good catch breath. And then continue to practice on your own. Triband Pranayama, the 3 lock practice, engaging Mula Bandha, Jalanhar Bandha, the throat lock. The breath is held in at that point. When you're ready, lift the chin, exhale your breathing, and then at the bottom, engaging Uddiyana Bandha, the navel lock. Again, just finding your own pacing here. With your next exhale retention, complete the round that you're on. The eyes gently close down. Just going to lead us through a little guided practice here this morning. The practice of listening and reflection. Just first imagine that the body is a vessel of sensitivity. Of refinement, of perception, of awareness. Sensitivity, refinement, perception, awareness. Invoke that in you that is feeling, or what is sensing. And then just gently, lightly float the mantra of Om into this field, into this loka, this plane that you're sensing, that you're perceiving, that you're aware of, that you're sensitive to. Mantra of Om. And then just let the mantra subside, and then reflect on the nature of the universe. comprised of the pairs of opposites. The nature of mind floating between what is desired and what one is averted from. And then gently allow your being to just subside in between those 2 points, as if it were the centerpiece of the circle. And just feel a sense of equanimity. It's almost as if the center of the circle is not even moving, it's so still. The influence of peace and presence, fully encompassing the being. Peace and presence. Recognize being established in your sovereign nature. What is holy and what is human. And from this remarkable place, extend the hand of compassion to suffering. Sustaining that sovereign quality, grounded, present. What's holy and what's human. And then we gently lean towards the delight of virtue. So allow for a lightness, almost an inner smile to come into the being. This sincere delight sees all things. It sees everything in their equanimity. It sees the pairs of opposites and can sustain its sense of delight. And breathe in that lightness. Let it encompass you. Delight. And then from this remarkable home of delight, we invoke love, Prema or Maitri, loving awareness. It's abiding. Its well is so deep. It is so true and peaceful and encompasses all things. Its essence is equanimity. Deep, abiding love. It never withdraws. It never isolates itself from anything or anyone. It's shared equally to all. There's no clinging or aversion. Its quality is grounded and peaceful. Maitri Karuna Mudito Pekshana Sukha dukkha punya, punya vishayana, bhavanachcha chitta prasarana. Om here together. Just bring hands to prayer here at the heart and just moment of reflection, gratitude for the time always that we spend together and for your practice and your dedication to your practice, and certainly sharing it with Illuminated Insight Yoga, live stream it, and to the teachers, all the teachers of yoga who've come before. May we honor the ancestry of this time, and to the hope that we carry for humanity's illumination and our participation in the vibrancy of that. Namaste. Ooh. Okay, friends. Just incredible gratitude, as always. And so tonight at 7:30 is full moon meditation. You can wear your Halloween costume if you want. I might have one on. You never know. And I'm also anticipating at this point. You're welcome, Stephanie. Sarah, glad you made it through. Doing a practice at Shivalaya on Tuesday. And we know what Tuesday is, but I'm going to be doing some peace chanting at Shivalaya, and it'll start at 1:08 p.m. 1:08 p.m. on Tuesday, and you're welcome to come up, and because it's going to be nice up there. And I'm also going to be live streaming it. And so kind of check in on that if you want to come up. I feel like some peace chanting on Tuesday is great. And Benmo Thang, check that out. And tonight, full moon meditation. So it looks like Shigeko's going to be there. Yeah, Shigeko, thanks for coming. Maggie, you're very welcome. And, right in the middle of the heart center is the bead. Love, peace. All right. Love you, friends. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.